I'm ready for some high school football on News Channel 12.
The season is winding down.
Let's go, A!
And the quality of play is heating up. Time to find out who will be practicing on Thanksgiving.
CTI
On this second round playoff edition of the Blitz. Southside and North Duplin met for the second time this year. The Rebels hoping to yell again, while the Seahawks were seeking redemption. Riverside and Tarboro tangled for a second time as well. The Knights hoping for a different outcome from round one. And a couple of Southwests went head-to-head. Onslow and Edgecombe, a good old-fashioned slobber knocker at the corral. Time to find out who is dumping second-round buckets.
And the Blitz starts now!
Welcome to another award-winning edition of the Blitz. I'm Brian North. Ariel Epstein, we put her out on a road trip tonight. She'll be reporting from the field in just a few minutes. Let's get into the second round of the playoffs. The cream starting to separate itself and rise to the top. Let's start in 2A, where we have our Blitz premier matchup, and that's where Southwest Edgecombe took its 10-2 record to the Corral to take on 9-3 Southwest Onslow. This one wasn't for the faint of heart. Hard-hitting affair, but the Stallions, they get out to the early lead. Tyhee Edwards takes it in for the quick 7-0 lead, and the Chain Crew, they were pretty pumped, but then things went south for the Cougs. First, the punt, that's going to lead to good field position for Southwest Onslow, and who are you going to give it to? One of the guys we featured yesterday, Jacoby Johnson, the start of his big night, getting to the end zone, 14-0, just like that, and then Southwest Edgecombe costs it up. The Stallions recover, and Coach Cobb scratching his head. What are we doing? That would lead to a touchdown, but right before the half, Southwest Edgecombe, they would get the TD, and all of a sudden it was 28-14 thanks to TJ Harris's score, but Charlie Dempsey says, come on, second half, here we go. You know, we featured 3 running backs the other day. None of them was Tyhee Edwards, and we think he's mad about it. Look at this 80-yard rip as he tries to get to 1,000 yards on the season, and it was that kind of night. Yeah, D. Lee and his crew, they had it rolling, and look out, boom, the defense also hitting hard. Zachary Durgan with a big hit, and Johnson again, 4 TDs for number 34, and even Bob Eason, the former Northside coach, with a thumbs up for the Pumpkinheads. What? There was a pass in the game? Yeah! Thomas finds Daquan Roberts, and Southwest Onslow gets the win. Big time to move into the third round, 63-28.
It feels great. It just says a lot about the program. You know, it says a lot about these kids, and it's exciting. We told our guys that hey, they're doing the same thing we do. We're still doing better. Just proud of the way our kids came out and fought.
Into the third round, practicing on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, that's always a goal. It's always been a goal here. 10 wins. You know, and this is our 10th win. Get to the playoffs or get to the third round. It's great to accomplish that.
Look out for Air Stallion. Next up, they'll take on the winner of Green Central and East Bladen. That one was played in Elizabethtown. The Rams looking for a second straight road win. They upset Kinston last week, and this one was a wild, crazy game in the fog. That's East Bladen somewhere throwing the ball and somewhere scoring the touchdown. But, you know, Green Central would come right back to Boris Bynum. Bynum's going to take the kickoff. And this one was going to go back and forth early on. But Green Central wouldn't have enough in the tank by the time this one was over. East Bladen, they gave them all they could in the first half as Bynum scores. But then it was all East Bladen after that. They run away with this one. They get it by the final of 68-28. So East Bladen going to host Southwest Onslow in the third round. Focus now, focus next Friday night. In the other half of the 2A bracket, Wallace Rose Hill hit the road, traveled to Wilson County to take on Bedingfield. And boy, Kevin Montsinger's squad, they are looking forward to that de facto state championship game next week. Devontae Williams taking it in for the score. Celebrations on the sideline, and how about some more Wallace Rose Hill? The dogs were barking and scoring. Malcolm Gray takes it all the way. Wallace, the 3-time defending 1A state champs, trying to get a title in 2A, and the big hit by Raquel Simmons. And then here comes Desmond Newkirk. Wallace Rosehill rolls to the victory over Bedingfield, 56-0. There is Gray again with another touchdown. Them Bulldogs look like a title contender, but next up, they have to play the winner of Clinton Northeastern, and Northeastern undefeated, and they, after a slow start, would take it to Clinton. The dark horse is going to the air, but it's picked off by Northeastern, and Northeastern gets the win, 35-0. In 2AA, West Craven trying to rebound from adversity. Remember, the Eagles star running back arrested on drugs and weapons charges Wednesday morning. So West Craven having to have some other players step up. They wanted to upset undefeated South Granville. Torrance Williams doing his part to get them fired up, but they played in Creedmoor, northeast of Durham. And, hey, Will Weatherington going to the air and finding his man for the score. West Craven sticking around early, but South Granville, they got a good running game that sets up the passing game, and they would turn this one into a close game, and then they would turn it into a rout after that, as West Craven scoring late, but South Granville gets the win. We're showing a lot of Torrance tonight. He's getting some airtime. 50-12. West Craven's season comes to an end. Next up for South Granville, they will take on North Davidson, who beat Ledford 17-10. And the other half of the 2AA East bracket, top seed East Duplin back at home. They hosted West Stokes. The Panthers off to a slow start in this one. West Stokes would actually take the early lead. Second quarter, they get the touchdown pass. And do we have an upset alert happening? Nah, here comes East Duplin. They tie it up on this Chris Benson touchdown, 7 apiece. And then the big TD run. Melvin Scott going 87 yards, breaking tackles like we've watched him do all season. And East Duplin runs away to stay undefeated, 49-14. So they move on to the third round of the playoffs. Next up for them, they are going to host Randleman, who put it on Nash Central, 57-19. Whew. We're just getting started, though, here on the Blitz. We got a bunch more highlights to show you. But first, our fans in the stands. We're going to go back out to the corral where they have a little fun. Check them out.